Everybody for tuning in to another episode of Off the Clock with Mo. Today I'm doing something, a little different. I got a co-worker of mine here today, and as you can see, he brought some of his weapons with him. He sells weapons, a professional gun seller, and I'm just honored to have and honored to have him here with us today. He could have chose any other podcast, any other avenue to do this, and he chose me today now, and he chose us today. So I'm greatly appreciated by Hudson. And
what's going on, brother? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, man. I can't complain.
Good.
I can't complain. I'm just happy you're here.
Yeah. I had to make it, man. I had to show up for you. I said I was gonna come through, so I'm here.
Right.
I'm here, baby.
Yeah. So where is it that you're where you at now? Where you sell your weapons?
Okay. So everybody, I'm Shamari Hudson, owner of Taurus Tactical LLC, located in Southfield, 12 Mile in Greenfield. We had right now I'm at 29501 Greenfield.
Oh, okay then. All right.
Yeah.
So because we used to work together before you jumped ship on us and things like that,
and gotta make some moves,
and jumped off on that on that leap of faith, but before that even came about, how old were you when you first got into guns?
Honestly, bro, I was a grown man.
For real?
Man, I just really got into them when I went down south. I used to work at when I went to New Orleans for Hurricane Katrina. I went down there.
Oh, you went down there for Hurricane Katrina?
Yeah, I went down there to Hurricane Katrina.
Was you with a company or was you just doing it yourself?
What's the name of them guys? I can't think of them right now. It'll come to me, but went down there. I didn't even know I was going down there. Actually, I just went to Southfield looking for a job, and just so happened Hurricane Katrina had just happened, and the guy was like, "You don't want to be here. You want to be in New Orleans." I'm like, "What's going on in New Orleans?" He's like, "Hurricane Katrina. We need security on CCS." That's the name of the company. I think it was corporate some CCS though. CSS, Corporate Security Solutions.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of them, but yeah, man. So I ended up going in there with two of my homeboys, and down there we were armed. So that was my first time, I believe, carrying. Then we had to go through a little qualifications down there.
Oh, okay. That's the first time you carried?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And I was 26, I think 26 at the time. Yeah. So that's when I really got introduced to firearms. I mean, we had them in the house, my brother, but it wouldn't matter.
What did y'all carry when y'all went down there?
Smith & Wesson SDs, 9mm.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
So when you was down there, what was that? I mean, I seen the aftermath of it when I went down there one time. I just seen the aftermath of it. So what was it like seeing Katrina firsthand, like right after the hurricane?
Man, that was life changing for me. I didn't really know what to expect when I went down there. It was literally like I'm watching it on TV, just like you probably did. And I'm seeing the kids in a family on boats, and when that water was like just as tall as houses. And like I said, when I went there to get the job, he's like, that's where you want to be. I'm like, what? But look, check. He was like, at the time, that was what I think 06. They was paying like $1,000 a week.
Oh, for real?
$1,000 a week, and I'm 26. I'm just living in the basement. I went back to my mama's house.
Yeah.
So I'm like, a week. I'm like, sign me up. So yeah, when I went down there, it was no electricity, and they had just really got bodies and rescued everybody. So it was basically empty when I got down there. And then they set up like these trailer sites for the residents that stayed there, like trailer parks. And then they had security in all the trailer parks. So
you stayed in the trailer park as well?
Nah, bro. They had us in it was called Leland, Louisiana, and we were staying in like a big old like a forest almost with tents, big old tents. And that little town had electricity. So we was in tents. We used to use the bathroom in porta potties. They had like a semi-truck shower.
Yeah.
With different, and it was just sort of, it was just dudes. It was all men. And we slept on air mattresses, bro.
In the tents?
In the tents. And
did you find yourself second guessing yourself?
They was driving in vans. They was driving in vans back and forth to work. come back, live in a tent. They feed us, and they gave us per diem,
Right.
like $200 a week on top of the $1,000. So, but yeah, bro, I got sick down there. So when I got sick, God is good. My dad, on my dad's side of the family, he had a cousin down there in New Orleans. No, Baton Rouge, in Baton Rouge. So I contacted her and she let me stay down there. I got sick, like I was like about to go home because I was sick.
Yeah.
Like coughing, sneeze, I was just, bro, headaches. So I went and stayed with her for like 2 weeks. And like I got better. It healed me. I got real good, bro. When I came back, I was on point. So I thought about it, but I understand.
Oh wow. But when you were sleeping outside in the tents, did you think about going home then? When you seen I'm in
for
the
sure.
tent.
Yeah, for sure, man. But when we started getting a little money, and then when we went to work, like I said, it was so dark and it was chilly at the time. Like it was just imagine, bro, being in the D or something with nobody, no electricity. Like I couldn't even see my hands at night. I wear midnights.
Yeah.
I couldn't even see my hands. It was so dark. Nobody out. Worse than COVID. Nobody outside at all. Like people ain't there. So this before they set up the trailers. The trailers was empty. So we used to get these. We used to light a fire because it was cold. Like a pit. We used to get like a pit. Those stuff in there. It was like 4-man teams. We used to light the pit up just to get warm, bro. Because we couldn't go in the trailers yet. It was unoccupied at that time.
Oh wow.
So it was actually dangerous too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was dangerous. In the army, used to come by every night, and sometimes they had some little care packet with like food and stuff in it, like just to see if we were straight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then eventually, residents started moving in, and then it started getting kind of wild. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Now, did you ever have to draw your weapon?
Me personally, no. But we did have an officer get caught sleeping, and he got killed, a supervisor.
You got caught sleeping?
Sleep, like knocked out on midnights.
And somebody came by and killed him?
In the trailer, blew his head off and took his gun, took his duty weapon.
Wow.
And never found him, bro. And just so happened, I became a supervisor on there too, and I ended up going, they put me over there in his spot. Once he passed away, I went up going over there.
Wow. Now how did you feel? How did you feel knowing that this man just got shot and killed? They said next man up, you supervisor now.
Yeah, I was supervisor at another location.
But they brought you over there.
Yeah, they ended up taking me over there once that happened to him because I was on point, bro. Like I was focused. I stayed up all night. I made sure my officers was good, and I'm a people person.
Yeah,
and it was my people, so I was easy. I was good with communication with them.
Right.
Unfortunately, the supervisor got killed was a white guy.
Oh,
you know
okay.
what I'm saying? So we kind of stuck out being over there in
New Orleans. They like, you don't know what we're going through. You just here.
So they're like, let's put my man over there. He cool there. You know, he get along with people.
Right.
And he do his job. So because a lot of officers was getting caught asleep, and that fall on the supervisor.
Damn.
That's how they looked at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was up checking on her. Hey, y'all, you good, bro? You good? You good? Yeah, back there I was smoking a shitload of Newports.
I'm sure you
Newport up. Like, yeah, it kept me up, man.
So what was it like at night, in the trailer park, or it was not even before the trailer park, and it's pitch black, and even though you don't see anybody, would you hear like, I'm just picturing like you would start hearing like screams or hollers or...
Yeah, that's the thing though, it wasn't nobody. You know what I'm saying? At that time, they didn't let nobody in New Orleans. This was like right after it happened, so all the people evacuated. And then they're like, boom, drop security, drop the trailers. Then they brought us first to guard the trailers before the tenants moved in. You know what I'm saying? So it was quiet. No rats, no cats, no dogs.
Damn.
No nothing.
So to go back a little bit, because you said this is when you first started handling guns, right?
Yeah.
They had to teach you how to shoot.
Pretty much. A little fake training they had.
Now I know when I first started shooting, I couldn't hit the broadside of the barn.
Okay.
So how was you? How was your shooting when you first got out there and started shooting?
It wasn't good. I don't even really remember, bro. I don't really remember what my target looked like. I was just trying to qualify to get this job. But I know when I shot the firearm, I messed up because I had my thumb behind the slide. When the slide went back, I remember it cut me. And at the time, I didn't even really honestly know what happened.
That's all it did was just cut you? It didn't like... It
was a little bite, little slide.
Oh, it didn't fuck you up, up.
No, a little slide bite. And I just knew, then I started teacupping. Teacupping is when you put the palm down there. I was like, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get my left hand totally out the way. So yeah, that's what happened with that, bro.
Oh, okay. So then when you out there in New Orleans and you're dealing with people now the people that came to the trailers, you're dealing with people. How much longer were you out there for that once the people got in the trailers?
Well, I was out there for about altogether about 2 years.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I was on there about 2 years, and then my two boys that came with me, then were getting fired on different stupid stuff. So yeah, I was on there for 2 years. Actually, my wife now then girlfriend wanted to come there and move and wanted to move down there. So I was thinking about moving down there, and then unfortunately, my father got sick and passed away up here.
Okay.
So when he did that, I'm his only child. I ended up coming back home, and I had to take over his affairs and stuff like that.
Oh, so had it not been for that, you would have been in Louisiana.
Most likely.
Did you like it out there like that to live out there?
Nah, I ain't really had time to chill. It was just I was working. We was on 712.
I mean, cause that's that muggy ass.
We was on 712.
But that muggy heat, like choking.
Yeah, it was. It was dry. No, I don't remember. It was dry.
It was dry. It wasn't humid.
It would be like 90 degrees, and it didn't feel like it.
They didn't have any. Oh, cause I went out there just to go on vacation.
With New Orleans.
Yeah, I went to Baton Rouge and New Orleans.
Okay, yeah.
And I drove over that long ass bridge or whatever it is that goes. In the water, like right there at the damn thing. And you gotta go like what's it like 10 miles? 10 miles.
It's way long. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and
that's when they was on when they was trying to get in and out.
Yeah.
When they was trying to get out.
Oh, okay.
The hurricane.
I was just praying, please don't let my car break down.
Yeah.
Please don't let my car break. I mean, I wasn't worried about it, but you just don't never know.
Yeah, you was visiting somebody?
Yeah, I got a cousin that lived out there. Me and my sister, her husband, my then wife, and kids. We all went out there. And then we went to then we went down to New Orleans. That was, of course, that was afterwards. But they still had like all the X's on the houses, and then they had the X's and the numbers and shit like that. Then they had the it was a whole lot of stuff, that I seen. Like it was my first time seeing the above ground cemeteries.
Yeah, that's my first time seeing that too.
Then
that's my first time seeing that. Yeah, you saw the houses. What New Orleans had like shotgun houses.
Yeah. I mean, it's strictly shotgun houses. Like you can see straight the whole house through the front door.
I got hooked up on not hooked on, but they people talking about voodooism and all that stuff, and just sharing different stuff that be going on with that stuff down there with. Yeah, that was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah,
careful about the women you talk to. It was crazy, man. That's how it was. I learned a lot.
I like the food was real good. The food was real good because we did the tour shit, and I was like, all right, man. This I ended up finding we ended up finding a restaurant with the local people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where they make their money. This is how they survive.
Yeah.
It ain't like they go under and move somewhere else.
Yeah.
So they put they everything into the food.
Yeah.
That's the first time I had crawfish.
I was about to say, crawfish.
And we had alligator bites and the body of the crab. Fried twice, I think, some shit like I don't know. It was a big ass platter. And I remember this big ass platter cost $13. But then but before that, we went to Bubble Gump.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, and they gave us this little ass bowl of food that was $25.
Whoa.
I'm like, I'll just go out here with the local people where the food is good. The food was better than the tourist food, and I got more bang for my buck. I mean, I like being I like being out there and stuff like that. It was cool. I don't know if I could live out there, but yeah, I like being out there. It was real cool.
Yeah.
So because you say you married.
Yeah.
So is your wife into the guns as well?
Nah, well, she is now that I am.
Yeah.
Now that I am, she carries, got her CPL, and she really learned all her training through me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that difficult trying to train your wife how to shoot?
Nah, because we like go on dates, but I make sure I take her out there at least twice a year.
Okay.
Yeah, because she's not like actively in there herself, so yeah, I'll at least make sure I take her at least twice a year.
And what she carry?
Right now, Ruger LCP Max 380.
Now what is the 380?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
First one that she was carrying was a SIG Sauer P365-9, but then she actually said that it was a little heavier, even though it's a very small subcompact pistol.
Mm-hmm.
She said it would start hurting her hip.
Oh, okay.
The Ruger LCP Max is a little bit smaller, a little lighter, and it's 380 versus 9. So
Yeah, my first gun was a 380.
yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. This
it was real popular back in the day.
Yeah, 380. I ain't like I said, I ain't even know how to shoot then, but I had a gun, didn't know how to shoot worth a damn. I told you I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn back in the day. I get my damn my silhouette.
Yeah.
And I know how to empty the whole clip, but then the damn paper still be completely intact.
Yeah, you hit innocent bystander.
Yeah, I'm just shooting this shit. Think I'm doing something. I ain't done a damn thing. You know. And what was your first gun that you ever had?
Oh man, first gun I ever bought when I went down there, and we had ended up getting New Orleans Louisiana IDs.
Okay.
So, down there they didn't have no concealed pistol license. You pass the federal background check, you can buy a firearm, and I believe you could conceal it, open carry, all that.
Oh wow.
So we ended up going to like a gun and knife show, and maybe I was on there a couple months. I had just got my ID too, and like I said, I had been saving some money, so I had a couple grand on me. You know what I'm saying? But I ended up going to this store, gun and knife show, and I ain't know nothing about guns. I was cheap. I was like, this one, 9mm. This one say $150, 150. This one say 500. I'm like, I want that $150 joint. Ended up being a High Point. Ended up being a High Point.
Explain to everybody who don't know what a High Point is.
High Point is just a manufacturer that make firearms that have a really bad reputation. Possibly known to jam. They really ugly though.
Yeah.
You really start knowing guns, they really ugly, like little big bricks.
Yeah. I never liked them damn things.
Yeah, but to be honest, I still got it.
You still got it?
Still got it.
You still, man.
And that's the first gun I actually started training people with. And I gotta say, it never jammed.
Oh wow.
Never jammed. Like I say, back then when I first started training, I still wasn't really into or knowing about all the manufacturing. It's all the different stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still got it.
No.
Never see me carry it though.
I mean, I used to have my first gun until one day I called myself. This gun was so damn. It was a 380. It was so damn old. It was just all metal. I forget the name. The company went out of business. It started with an L.
Okay.
And I went to clean it one day and popped. I got the slide off, and then all these little springs started popping out the damn thing too.
Yeah.
I was like, well, shit. I can't use this motherfucker no damn more. And
some of that broke.
Yeah, like I said, once I started taking it apart to clean it, shit just started falling off of it. And that was it.
Back then, we had YouTube and Google.
No, I knew how to do it.
Okay.
No, I knew how to take it apart. You know what I'm saying? I knew
even the little parts that broke off. Probably YouTube, they'd be like, oh man, all you gotta do is.
Oh yeah,
probably.
This. Probably so.
That's very common in those.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is this.
Yeah, it really is.
That's all you gotta do.
It really is, but it couldn't teach me how to shoot though.
Like breaking them down.
Yeah, man. What's your favorite gun that you have, or one that you would want?
Yeah, I have to say, it's probably changing, but I got away from that duty weapon, that Glock. Glock in general, I love Glock. But right now, I'm also carrying the SIG Sauer P365.
Oh, okay. Now, are you tired of Glock because you carried it all the time, or you just don't prefer it no more?
I'm gonna say I was carrying that 23, that 40.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a little too big. It got a little bit too heavy.
Okay.
Yeah, carrying it for 12 years.
Yeah.
Got a little too heavy. So the one of the SIG is a little lighter.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, a little lighter, a little thinner. Yeah. And as I'm getting older, I'm transitioning. I wasn't with a 40. Now I'm at a 9.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I got both the Glock. I got the 19 and the 20. I think the 19 is a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, if I would have known any better, I would have known that the damn barrel is damn interchangeable. You could take the barrel out of. You could take the barrel out of one.
The 23.
Yeah, okay. And put it into the 19.
The frames is the same.
Yeah, I'm like, well, that ain't this about it, because I had to switch over, and I ain't had to change my holster or nothing. Yeah, I got this. I got the 19, which can go right in my holster now, and my 40 go in the same holster. I don't have no problem doing either one. If I was thinking, I would say, well, just give me the damn barrel.
Yeah. I ain't never think about that.
Yeah,
you're right.
You know, because that was
barrel magazine.
Yeah.
Switch the mag up.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, you just switch the magazine and you switch the barrel, and you good to go.
Yeah, I have to try that. I want to
Because one of my favorite guns that I used to have that somebody ended up stole it out of my car one day. Because back in the day, I used to I used to go to after work I would go to the bars and stuff like that, and I would put my gun up in my car, and I had this 357 Magnum Ruger,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a double action hammerless with the snub nose, and I used to carry it as a backup weapon at work. And I could put it in my pocket because I didn't have to worry if I had to use it. I had to put my if I had to use it, I could shoot it out of my pocket because it didn't have a hammer to it.
Mm-hmm.
It was double action. And one day I came back to my car. I was only in the bar for probably like an hour and a half or so. I came back to my car. My car said theft alert, and I had these little the little flyers they put on your windshield.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, maybe it went off because it couldn't have been because they put no flyers on. And I used to have a Cadillac, and back in the day, if you just got in the car, you just hit the damn trunk button. That damn thing would just pop open.
Yeah.
You ain't had to have no key, no nothing. As long as you was in the car and you hit the trunk, that motherfucker would pop open.
All the way up.
And I went back in my trunk, man, and I looked at my front door. I see where they popped the key, the cylinder for the key.
Mm-hmm.
They popped that out, and then I went in my trunk, and sure enough, that motherfucker was gone.
Mm.
They got that, and my I had another at the time I had another 40 that they took as well.
Yeah, some sounds in that boy.
No. This was back in my. I was older. I wasn't doing the sounds no more.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't doing the sounds.
You talking about like a STS Eldorado model?
No, just a DTS.
Okay, DTS.
Yeah, DTS.
Okay,
It was I had a 2008 or 2009 DTS.
Yeah,
it was all black and tinted windows, and I guess they liked the car, wanted to see. And sure enough, and they took my book bag. I had a book bag in the car, so they imagine they took the book bag and put the guns in the book bag, and
his book bag.
In Detroit, I go to the precinct, tell Detroit, someone stole my car. They're like, you a little drunk, ain't you? Like, look, man, me being drunk right now ain't got nothing to do with this right now. I ain't too damn drunk to come tell you that someone took it instead of me just saying, well, fuck it, they took it. Yeah,
I ain't coming in here drunk.
Yeah,
I'm telling you it's stolen.
Right, and then I had to go back home. They were such assholes with the 357 Magnum. They wanted me to go back home and get the serial number and get the because in those they have the shell casing, and revolvers they had the shell casing that they give to you too.
Yeah.
So I had to go back get that, I guess, for the ballistics, so they
said get that too.
I just brung it any damn way because I ain't because they was already bullshitting me. And the last thing I needed to do was say, hey, where the shell casing to come with it too. That was a hell of an experience.
That helped them though.
Yeah, but I ain't got the shit back yet.
Oh yeah.
No, I never got it.
What city was it?
Detroit? No, I ain't getting it back.
You ain't getting that back.
Hell yeah. But because you say you teach as well. You do CPL classes.
Yeah, so I've been doing CPL classes for about 14 years.
Oh wow,
14 years ago. Yeah. When I got my CPL, the only reason I got my CPL, like I said, I came back from New Orleans. When I came back, that really jump started my career in security.
Mm-hmm.
So because that was like my first security job, and before that, I don't want to go too far back, but I was a loss prevention inspector for Comcast. Remember Comcast, now Xfinity? Yeah. I was in loss prevention, and it was one of the funniest jobs I ever had. I don't know if you remember when, I don't mean to get off the subject,
go ahead.
But I don't know if you remember when, who was the mayor? I think Kwame was in office, and Kwame, it was Archer, I guess. Whoever was before Kwame, because Kwame shut it down.
Either Dennis Archer or Dave Bean.
I think it was whoever, we used to have, remember people used to have illegal cable?
Yeah.
Illegal, like everybody had illegal
cable.
Yeah. Like us. So listen, we used to go look for illegal cable in houses by checking the pole. Cause I used to install it first. Now we used to look for illegal cable. And then back then, if you had legal cable, we can get a search warrant. Not us, we call the local police, get a search warrant. We used to do cable raids. I don't know if you remember that.
No, I ain't never
Detroit, they used to do cable raids.
And I never lived in Detroit.
Well, we used to all over. They went to Detroit, but all over.
No,
it was a lot of, bro. We was out here actually.
I was a fool. I was a fool. I was paying for mine.
But listen, we used to cut it off. We used to take the TVs.
Damn.
That any TV hooked up with this cable line, we confiscated it.
Hell no.
Yeah, that was crazy, wasn't it?
How many TVs you get? You got some TVs at home?
Man. Man. What's the years of you know what I'm saying? I don't know how many years it went by. I don't know if I can talk about that yet.
Statute of limitations.
Limitations on that. So, but we had a warehouse.
It was seized. It ain't still in the seized. Police take your car, they gonna use your car too.
They was able to go to court, pay the restitution, pay the bill, pay some more money, and get their TVs back. Man, they had a warehouse full of TVs.
Hell no. For some dumbass reason, I paid for my cable.
Nah,
if I could afford it.
I feel you.
Yeah, no, they ain't come raid my shit.
So originally, like I said, that was like introduction to security, whatever. That was fun though. Then
did you carry guns when y'all did that?
No, we didn't carry guns. Nah, I think I'm cable man.
When you did the raid,
DPD had them. Whatever police agency, they did the raid.
Did you go with them?
Yeah, they cleared the house, and then we came in checking wires, grabbed the TV.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, but we had to do it with police.
Yeah,
we can't just go. We couldn't go in nobody's crib like the law enforcement agency. We was being Pontiac. I think we was down here too, man.
Mm-hmm.
But it was that. Then New Orleans. Then when I came back, I was like, all right, I might as well do this armed security thing. That was fun. So that's why I got my CPL. So I tell people, originally I got my CPL for business.
Right.
Like a gun for me, honestly, was business first. As far as like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm getting for personal protection. You know, these guys, you know, these dangers out here. Let me carry a gun.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that for me. It was like, all right, I gotta get this CPL, get this gun, I get to make more money.
Right.
So it was always business for me first. So that's why I got my CPL to get an armed security job or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was your first armed security position?
Besides New Orleans, I came back, I think, so I told you my father passed away. And then, man, it was at like a supermarket. What's my man's name? Shout out to Risk Security. My guy Rob. He had a couple of supermarkets.
Oh, okay.
West Side Pontiac. So I was doing armed security over there. Then the guy who gave my CPL, I happened to good guy Ed. I asked him when he gave my CPL. I told my class, I was like, "So how I do what you do?" You know what I'm saying? Because he literally did that. I gave him $100. I was like, then he made $100 off me. I'll be thinking about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool. I was like, he about a couple years older than me. I'm like, I like to do that.
Yeah.
I'll do what you do. He like, bro, just be good for like a year. Don't get no trouble. And, you know, I'll plug you in. Well, I give you my connect, basically.
Right.
Year went by. I'm like, bro, what up? What's up, that connect? So there's a white guy, somewhere far east. I forgot what city it was, but I went out there and took the class to become an instructor with him. It was like a one-day class for like 5 hours, 5, 6, 7 hours. He had me all day.
Okay.
Yeah, paid him like $600.
Oh, okay.
It was like $600 class. And then after that, I started doing the classes, but not for real. I was just kind of playing with it, but I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really taking it serious. And I was doing security at the grocery store.
Oh, okay.
So my man, Rob, at the grocery store, I started making little flyers, CPL class, $100. I was throwing them in the grocery store I was at. Posted up with my little security. You know what I'm saying? Back then I had a Benz too. I had a 2001, 2002 E430.
Okay.
So, you know, I was young, bro. Let's say in my 20s. When I came back, I had stacked a lot of money down in New Orleans.
Right.
I stacked like $40,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I came back with some money. Unfortunately, my father ended up passing away.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say that, but he ended up passing away. I was his only child. So, you know, I had some stuff, like I said, I had to take his repairs with that. So I was working at Ghost Stove, had my little flyers out there. And then my man, I guess one of the other security, hating, bro. One of the other security guys like, this Smart Flyer, he got flyers. He promote his service. He like, my man like, oh, you can't have these in here. You can't be, you know, promoting your CPL classes and working for me. Because he did them too low key.
Oh,
older cat.
Oh, okay.
Like, no, you can't. You mix it too much. And we said, like, all right.
Was it a brother or was it? Oh,
brother. So after that, I put him up. But in my mind, I'm like, no, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. I don't like that. My man, low key, you know, hating on me.
Yeah.
Stop my money. So yeah, I knew I was going to have to take it to another level and get off that location. But yeah, I was earned there though. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So when you was going through, you know, you went through the class. You know, you were an instructor and and you said you wasn't taking it as serious.
Mm-mm.
When did you finally start taking it
My
serious?
bad, bro. I mean to cut.
No, don't worry about it.
Honestly, to be honest with you, it was two things. So when I did a class, really like in the beginning, I had a lady I was doing in my basement. I did a class and with one lady, and I took her to the range. At that time, I didn't make people pay like really not like kind of like not up front.
Mm-hmm.
So I took her to the range, did the class, took her to the range, and then I paid for the gun range fee. She used my firearm. I think she had a high point, I want to say. I talked about that nine. And then she paid me when we left. She was like, here, gave me $100 bill. And I almost forgot to get paid. So when she gave me the 100, I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, something clicked in my mind. I was like, wow, you made money and I enjoyed doing that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed teaching this lady how to shoot. And then to the point where I forgot I was getting paid for it. Basically, just me doing that did something to me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I was like, something clicked in my head like, nigga, this is what you need to be doing. You know what I'm saying? So that was like one of the first things that clicked that said, okay, these two things go together. You teaching classes, people paying you money. It clicked in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and it don't feel like you actually working because you're doing what
I
you
wouldn't
love.
work. Yeah, for like exactly. I didn't know I loved it yet. Though.
Yeah.
I was just like, it was a good experience. And then she paid me, but then that was something I ended up falling in love with, being an instructor. I wasn't in love at that moment, but that was the start of it.
Right.
Second thing that made me take it serious, I was doing CPLs, but I was at the hospital grinding.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up leaving I ended up quitting that supermarket, getting a job. The next arm position I had was at the hospital.
Okay.
So when I get over there, what I was getting ready to say, bro? I lost my little train of thought. Remember?
You get to the hospital, and I would imagine you probably started letting people know that you was.
Yeah. I was at the 312.
Okay.
Emergency entrance. And like I said, I'm doing it every blue moon. This guy came in, and you know there, bro, that location. I'm not saying at the main. I'm not saying, the brother wasn't serious, or I'm not saying he was poor or he had no money. He just gave an impression like he was struggling out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he had an impression like he was struggling, and his mental didn't seem on point.
Okay.
I don't think he was drunk or high. He just was, kind of immature.
Right.
So when he came in, we checked, put all your stuff up here. And then he was like, man, y'all tripping, bro. He said something about I ain't got nothing with me. But he's like, I got a business. He's like, I got a business. I'm an entrepreneur. And then, I think me or somebody else was like, well, what you do? What you do? He's like, oh, man, I do CPL classes. So from looking at him, it didn't even look like he did it. He didn't look like no firearm instructor. You know what I'm saying? Like, say he was a little immature, all that. But I did them too. But when he said it, he said, I got my own business. I didn't take it as a business. I took it as a hustle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when he said that, that was the second thing. This man said he got a business. Why you considering his business your hustle?
Mm-hmm.
So that was something else I said, maybe I need to take this like a business.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So do you, I mean, just hearing, I'm hearing all these different, I'm hearing these different, I'm not no Bible told, but I'm hearing these different blessings coming in different forms and different shapes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, all right, I trained somebody, damn, this shit feel good. I'm gonna start training people. And you're looking at it as a hustle, but then someone comes in and says, well, I do this, it's a business. And you're like, damn, this is another blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
And then boom, there it is again. Now let me try this as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me take it serious.
Yeah, so and now that you've been doing this for like you say 12 years now? 14 years now. Now do you just like novice, or do you train or work with like expert shooters as well, or do you do competitions?
No. Right now, as far as I do CPL classes, then I do one-on-one training. I train as far as myself, I'm just gonna say, so I do the one-on-one training. I train some people like children.
Oh, you train children?
Young youth that want, like, parents may contact me, want their kid to be trained. This summer I'm doing advanced pistol outside. So
now what's advanced pistol outside?
basically, defensive training, like more like realistic
Okay.
situations really could possibly happen. Me drawing from the hip, me shooting close range, one hand, moving and shooting, real life stuff.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, as far as that's concerned, as far as me personally, now I'm a part of a Century Gun Club. It's a black-owned gun club out in Carlton, Michigan. Out there they do trap shooting.
What's trap shooting?
Trap shooting is when you got the 12-gauge shotgun. You say you get your little call sign, pull, and the disc fly in the air.
Oh, okay.
Then you shoot the disc
with
the shotgun. So I do participate in that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only thing I probably do with the guns that's considered recreational.
Oh, okay then. All right.
Well, for me, it ain't about business.
Yeah.
If you notice, trap shooting is a rich man's sport. It used to be like you think about certain movies, you might see, you know what I'm saying, old rich white man talking business.
Yeah, that pool.
Boom. You know what I'm saying? Because that ammo costs.
Yeah,
you constantly got to get them 12-gauge shells. So it ain't a poor man's sport.
So even with that, with you doing your training, CPL trainings and stuff like that, what type of ammunition do you use to train people?
Full metal jackets. So the ones that those basically much recommended for the range.
So full metal jackets, for those that don't know, are basically the rounds that's not going to have no type of hollow tip to it.
Yeah, correct,
it's just going to be just a regular old shell.
Yeah.
Not to say it can't hurt you.
Yeah,
but it won't do what your typical, as some people would call them, hollow points. Even though we know
self-defense rounds.
Yeah. Even though we know the different types, because them different type of hollow point rounds do different things. To you, they make contact with you compared to that full metal jacket, which is just a regular old round and just go right in, and then you like, God damn, motherfucker, you done shot me.
Typically that full metal jacket gonna over penetrate.
Yeah,
so that's what they do. That's why you don't want to carry them. They go in and go out.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
the problem. That's the main problem. The hollow points stay inside the person you shoot.
Yeah, and it's just gonna tear.
Yeah.
It's just gonna tear up whatever it hits inside. It's just gonna sit up there and just tear it up.
Should do more internal damage for sure.
Yeah.
But that's the one that should stay in you versus going straight through you.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was the worst experience that you ever dealt with trying teaching somebody at a CPL class, whether it's in class or it's at the range?
I would say you say in class.
Either in class or at the range. On the line.
First of all, in class, what I don't like, my pet peeve, is when people come into class smelling like weed.
Oh shit.
Bro,
I can't give you this.
It's like you come in to learn about gun laws and how to shoot a gun, and you're gonna be shooting today. So why are you gonna come here danked out? Yeah, danked out, unprepared, letting the teacher know, the instructor know that you've been smoking. So I had to put some people out.
Damn.
Say, bro, contact me when you when you're serious about this.
Yeah. I mean, because even like today, typically people know when I do these podcasts, I normally get a drink.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I know that we talking about weapons today.
Yeah.
And we can't be saying, or at least I can't be saying, gun safety. Now here I am with a glass of whiskey in my hand and a bottle of beer also.
Yeah.
And here I am saying practicing safety. And
we know how they be about us. Yeah. So you guns on table. Oh, they got liquor too. Oh,
No, you got to. That's one thing. With weapons, man. You can't have a short temper.
Mm-hmm.
2, you got to be responsible all the time. There's no excuse when it comes to dealing with a weapon where you can have an excuse of being irresponsible.
Exactly.
Because when you got a weapon in your hand, you are now the judge, jury, and executioner at that moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can't afford to have an impaired mind. You can't afford to have any type of impairness to you. You can't be. You don't even want to have one drink. You don't even want to take. You don't even want to take one toke of your marijuana and have a gun. Because the minute you do some stupid shit, and then they run a blood test on you, anything like that, no matter how right you were, now you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? And now that person, it can probably get off of whatever it was they was attempting to do to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you got to have a sharp mind. You know, when it comes to these guns, you got to be focused when it comes to it. And you got to know what you're doing all the time. There's no excuse for a fuck up with a gun.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, what was one of the worst things on the range?
On the range, probably. I've had a handful of people in 14 years who literally get on the range and get so scared that they don't want to do it.
Oh, okay.
That they just literally freak out and just get so scared and don't take one shot.
Wow.
And that, like, you don't wasted your money, your time, and you don't even want to shoot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That probably, you know, like just, and the thing is, now I'm only using 22 caliber pistols.
Mm-hmm.
So literally like high power BB gun, and you're scared to shoot that. So yeah, it usually be that. You know, it might be like a young lady or something, or if there's a lot of people in there, the noise sometimes from other lanes, shooting that intimidates a lot of people.
Yeah, especially when some people come with them big ass guns and man.
That, and then also it frustrates me when people don't follow gun safety rules.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm constantly telling you, keep your finger off the trigger, keep the barrel pointed down range, you just like, you know, not paying, that irritates me.
Yeah, I done been at the gun range and someone turned around with the damn thing and say, it ain't working.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's that motherfucker. Yeah, and you know,
go get my man.
Yeah. You know, and you know, with you being a trainer, what are some of the gun safety rules that everyone should follow as far as, like, you know, any beginner? These are the minimum rules that you should always follow when handling a gun or being around a gun.
Yeah, so always treat guns like they loaded.
Right.
Whether it's unloaded or if it's loaded with one in chamber, one not in chamber, whether it's on safety, off safety, always treat it like it's loaded and ready to go.
Right.
So I tell my students, you never like playing with a gun. You know how some people are like, oh man, I got this new gun, I'm about to go and play with it. I'm about to go on. You don't put play and gun in the same sentence, you know what I'm saying? So always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so keep that finger off the trigger. A lot of people, they pick up guns, they got their finger on the trigger.
Ooh-wee.
You know, and never point a gun at anybody you don't intend to shoot.
Right.
So keep the finger off the trigger till you're ready to shoot. Keep the barrel pointed in a safe direction. Typically, that's going to be down. But at the end of the day, the barrel should never be pointing at anybody you're not about to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, never leave a loaded gun unattended.
Right.
So no one should ever find your gun loaded, ready to go, you know, where around.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, in Michigan, they just passed a law, I believe just last year, though, where if you do have minor children in the house,
it has to be.
You have to have it in the lockbox.
Yeah, because I think they just had a case where this man and woman was just, I can't remember where it happened. I don't know if it was Southgate or somewhere, where their child shot and killed themselves with their gun, and they got 1 year in jail and 5 years probation, something like that. You know, I thought it should have been more, but I know it was a real light. To me, it was a real light sentence.
Yeah.
You know, because man, you can't have guns around and think that kids can't get anything, because you got to remember, at one point you was a kid. How much shit did you get into? How much shit did you climb?
Exactly.
You know, how much shit did you just bump into an accident and say, "Mama, what is this? Boy, put that damn thing down." You know what I'm saying? How many times you done drunk your mama? It was back in the day, when your parents used to put their liquor in a pop bottle. You think it's Mountain Dew. You go to taste it, and they hear you spitting shit out.
Yeah.
You know, kids get into all type of shit, man.
And then I tell everybody as well, if you have children, it's important to educate your kids on firearms.
Oh yes.
If you got kids, I started training my children about around 3 years old.
Around 3 years. Now,
when I say training, educating them, I educate them as far as like what not to do. You see a gun, don't touch it. Tell your mother, tell me, tell an adult, something like that. You know, I educate them. I didn't. But then when they got around 9, I started training my daughter around 9.
You started training your daughter around 9?
Yeah.
Oh, now do she still participate with gun shooting?
Yeah, she's 16, so yeah, of course, bro. I gotta get them whenever I get the daughter in the range. I got twin boys. They 12, but I've been training them since like 10.
Oh, okay.
So I get them in the range. Yeah.
Are they like naturals with it?
No, definitely not. No, one of my sons, his aim is I want to say extremely well. but none of them is still. You got to go over them safety rules with them.
Yeah,
They ain't really got mastered none of that yet.
because I know I got three daughters. My oldest daughter, she carries. My middle daughter, she never wanted anything to do with damn guns.
Okay.
My youngest daughter, I had a friend of mine, like a brother to me, that lived out in Milan in the country. He had like 5 acres around his house, and when he first moved out there, that's all we did. We'd go out there and shoot. We'd go out there all day long. And my daughter used to love going out there, and she would shoot the little 22 rifle all day. But then once she started moving up to what I moved up, probably a 380 I told you I broke. And she didn't like it no more.
Why, it's too much kick for it?
Yeah, I think it was too much, and it was a 380. She just didn't.
Small too.
Yeah, it was small, but then I took her to the range last year. She did fairly well, but she just didn't. She didn't continue it. But like you said, even at a young age, I taught my kids. I let them hold the gun. Like,
yeah, if I did too.
Yeah, this is not a toy.
Yeah, I had an unloaded pistol.
Yeah. I want you to hold it. I want you to know this is not a toy.
Yeah.
And teach them how, taught them how to shoot, things like that. What did they want? Did your kids ask you about shooting, or you just?
Nah, they wasn't really they weren't really involved.
Okay.
I had to, introduce them to it. Cause my sons, they don't even play Call of Duty for real, none of that. They ain't even big gamers.
Yeah.
Cause a lot of times kids be in them games and they get curious about firearms. When I grew up, like I mentioned in my book, Blueprint to Urban Carry, it's on Amazon, by the way.
Is a biography of you?
No, Blueprint to Urban Carry is about carrying firearms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, carrying firearms in the urban environment. Dang, wrong. What was my train of thought again?
When you said when you first started carrying guns, and
I forgot what I was saying.
And when you talking about your introducing your kids to the firearms, and they ain't come to you, and
I got introduced to it really, bro, by like rap music. Like I was saying that, like rap music really introduced me to firearms. There's people like Spice One, NWA, just talking about guns.
Oh, okay.
So with them talking about guns, it got me fascinated with guns. That's crazy. Like the music. Yeah. So I didn't want them to grow up thinking about, letting the music or outside influences teach them about guns. I feel like that was my responsibility.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Cause my father, he introduced me to guns, but he didn't really introduce me to guns, but he introduced me to guns because my father used to be he didn't live with me, but he used to be an avid hunter. He used to go hunting. Deers, rabbits, whatever, squirrels, all type of things. And I remember the first time I went hunting with him, I had to been like probably 11 years old.
Okay.
He had all this hunting gear on, and I was living in Taylor, and I was in these projects in Taylor, and he, I must have asked him or whatever, and he's like, well, yeah, you can come, because he would always come over after he was hunting, and he used to have a jacket, and the jacket would have this long ass pouch that go from the inside would go all the way around, and he would have rabbits in it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he would have rabbits in it, and he would come. He used to have like I said, I stayed in the projects. My father used to have this Caprice Classic, the old school blue.
Box? The box one?
Yeah, but it was a wagon.
Oh, I remember them.
Yeah, it was a wagon.
I remember them.
And he used to scare everybody in the projects because they all thought they always would think he was the policeman. He would come straight ahead because they wouldn't see it was a wagon, and motherfuckers would scatter. And then in the back, he would have a dog kennel back there with his dogs that he would use for hunting.
Okay.
And
we had them Beatles or something?
Yeah, Beagles.
Beagles,
yeah. And one day I went out there hunting. It was in the wintertime. And I had my little old regular winter coat on, just a regular winter coat with a hood on it, some boots and some pants. And I'm like, shit, after a while, it's getting cold in the motherfucker. But he's still out here. I'm walking, my toes curling up in the boots and shit because it's cold outside.
Frostbite.
And he let the dogs run, and the rabbit come out, and the dog's chasing the rabbit, and he had a shotgun, and he lead it. I didn't know it then, but then he would lead it, and pow! The rabbit motherfucker would flip all around and shit. The dogs get up on it. And the crazy part was, he would get to the rabbit, and he would twist it like a tile, like you would like to dry in a tile,
Yeah.
and then he would fling it,
Yeah.
and then all the insides would come out the motherfucker.
Oh wow.
And the dogs would eat it and shit like that. And that was how I first got actually introduced to.
The dog eat it.
Yeah, they would.
That's what he's killing for the dog, for the animal.
No, once they get that taste, now they really want to be on it. Now, it was a one-time thing. Once
you gotta do that every time though. The first one, like
the first one, but after that, he wouldn't let them eat the rest. He wouldn't let them eat no more than that, because now they done got the scent, now they done got the taste, and now they want it even more now.
They know what they're looking for now.
Yeah, and they would just get them all out their holes and stuff like that. And that was when I first got introduced to guns. Didn't know shit about it.
Yeah.
And I would go to the gun, go rent guns, go to the gun range, can't hit shit. And
man, I still want to go hunting. A little bit. Yeah, I ain't never been hunting.
No, me either.
I just want to do it for the sport.
Right.
Yeah, I really ain't into killing the animals and wanting to eat them. But yeah.
No, the food would be the food be. It depends. Well, I've only had rabbit and just and deer.
Yeah, I had deer. Yeah.
You just gotta.
I had rabbit too. Yeah.
You just gotta cook them different. That's all. You just gotta you gotta cook it longer.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta cook it longer because it's gamey. Or you gotta or with deer you gotta add like beef to it for for the fat, because if you just cook it by itself, you're gonna burn it because it's so lean they don't have no fat on it. Yeah.
Deer meat straight though.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I love deer meat. I've hunted deer meat the old fashioned way though.
Okay, what's that?
I hit them with the car. I done hit 2 deers with the car and
accidentally?
Yeah, accidentally. Yeah. Well, in Ann Arbor,
you messed up your car.
Well, one of them was a work vehicle and one of them was my car. One of them was a work vehicle. I was on 96 and 275 at M14. This deer came across, and it was either slam on my brakes or go from one side to the other side. But I was either somebody was gonna rear end me or I was gonna smack somebody.
Yeah.
And lucky enough, it was one of them Dodge Caravans that got a scoop hood, and I hit the damn thing.
It flew up.
Motherfucker went up in the air like 20 feet, came back down. Like, oh damn, the damn thing dead.
It landed on the car.
No, it landed.
You kept going.
Yeah, I kept going. The motherfucker landed in the median, in the grass. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that 275 and 96.
Yeah.
And it got that big old median with all that grass that divides both sides. And that motherfucker hit. I'm like, oh man, this damn thing dead.
Yeah.
And I looked back, and that motherfucker was hopping. He was trying to get back to the other side because it broke both his back legs. Had to stop, call the police, stop traffic, put the damn thing down. Michigan State Police came.
They can't put it down.
I think it was either Livonia or Plymouth came and put it down, and then the state police showed up, and they gave me a tag. You gotta get it. You can't just take it with you. They give you a tag, and then I called my father. My father came, got it, cut the back legs off because it was broke. Went and processed it.
Oh, they give you the option if you want it.
Yeah, but you gotta have a tag. You gotta have a tag to go get it processed. Yeah. Without that tag, you can't get it processed. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? And another one.
It's like you just going in the backyard shooting a deer, taking it away.
Right.
Real tag.
Yeah. But in Ann Arbor, they should be able to do that in Ann Arbor because they don't do no hunting in Ann Arbor. And that's what I hit the second one that the damn deer was just coming across the street and just jumped in the middle of the street and hit the damn thing. Because Ann Arbor was just full of damn deer because they don't believe in shooting shit out there. I don't even think there's a gun range in Ann Arbor.
I wouldn't know.
I think the only thing out there in Washtenaw County is in maybe Ypsilanti is a gun club. Mm-hmm. You go to out there, So
there's land out there though, so it got to be something out there. But I don't know about Ann Arbor because Arbor really.
Well, they don't have. I know they don't have no gun. They don't have no gun stores.
Yeah. No.
Now, if they got places to hunt, maybe a different story. But as far as like trying to go to like the gun range, because when I first started shooting, I used to work for this one guy. And when I would transport people, and then what I would do, I had to transport them. If I could, I would go to the gun range to buy time. Okay. But in Ann Arbor, I couldn't find one. It was just a gun club. You had to be a member of the gun club to go in there. Yeah. So I guess to get back on track, because I can be on that shit for a minute.
You taught me some stuff.
Because you say now you're doing this as a business now. After the old boy said he runs a business, and then something went off in your mind. That's probably God telling you, hey, motherfucker, it's time to turn this into a livelihood.
Yeah. And I used to work a lot of overtime.
Yeah.
At the hospital. I was one of them cats, stay over on midnights. No matter if I get mandated, I might come in and work some days, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When that happened, I was more like, Let me see if I can start setting up more classes. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And get my money on that way
Right.
versus basically, let me see if I can cut this overtime. You know what I'm saying, with this money. Because if I'm charging at that time, I'm charging $100. If I charge, no, matter of fact, the economy was different, bro. I was charging like $65.
Mm-hmm.
I could never charge that now. Yeah, I was
Nah.
charging $65 when I first started. I know everything changed.
Yeah,
I was making money. You know what I'm
you
saying?
gonna put yourself out of business doing that now.
Yeah, I was charging 60. Yeah, if you ain't got no your own range.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was charging 65. And if I can manage possibly 2 or 3 people, I can easily make more money doing that in that time frame versus me going to work
Right.
overtime. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's how I started with that. So I cut. Hey, at first it put it where I cut overtime.
So where was you holding your classes at?
I started in the basement.
Okay, you started in the basement.
I started with one basement, and then we moved to another basement.
Okay.
So a lot of people some people wasn't really feeling that like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I remember sometimes one time somebody called like, I'm looking for a CPL class. I was like, yeah, you got the right address. I was on Burt Road, and between 7 and 8 Mile. And then I came out like, I'm here, we're here. He's like, no, that looks shady. No, I'm straight. It was a female, like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, you ain't getting me in there by myself with a gun.
I'm like, damn, man, I gotta give you something. I gotta figure something out. They ain't feeling this basement shit. Like some people in, some people ain't.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, it's dangerous. People strangers come in your crib.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wife, girl up there cooking at the time. My girl, out there cooking. Small kids, like, oh man, you need to separate this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I end up, it's crazy because sometimes, and like back then, like I was only sometimes make decisions if my back against the wall, where I like almost like forced to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? Or back against the wall. So I started like really pumping the classes, like getting like every weekend. I was doing on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, Sunday, I'm doing the class. Bam. And me and my girl had got into it. And it was to the point where she's like, if I get out, like, get out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Find someone to stay. And I was like, one of the first things that came to my mind was, well, I'm going to do classes at. She put me out. She started my money. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I'm popping right now, but I might move. I'm like, I got to get figured out. So this one guy who I plugged on being an instructor, he had some suites. He had a small suite in Southfield.
Okay.
Where he's doing classes. But the east side. So he was like, man, it was like God. He was like, at that time, he was like, man, I think I called him. I don't know. I think I was like, man, where I can get a suite, a location to do my class. He's like, man, I'm getting ready to relocate to the east side.
Okay.
Because I'm tired of driving over here on the west side. And I'm west side. And he ended up saying, bro, you can have this little spot for $250 a month.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm like, went over there, I'm like, $250. I'm like, bet it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's I ended up moving from the basement to a suite, and then that's when I started doing them. Still, I think I might have incorporated more days. Now when I got over there, that's when I got my first. That's when I got my first LLC.
Okay.
Taurus. It was a TSA, Taurus Security Alliance. No, I actually started. I was doing security with that because I was trying to do my little security company. That ain't pop. So I just took the Taurus Security Alliance and made it Taurus Firearm Training.
Okay.
Taurus Firearm. That's the first time I got an LLC. Taurus Firearm Training was my first LLC. That's when I was like, okay, it's a real business.
Yeah.
I gotta get an LLC. You know what I'm saying? I gotta form a business for real.
And now you gotta deal with taxes too.
All that part. That whole situation. So, getting the suite, I was like, all right, that's what I'm gonna do it legit. And like I said, make it a business.
Right.
Yeah. But that's when I started making. But then that's when I started training more people. You know what I'm saying? And then right after that, what really stepped my training up is when in the hospital I started, became an FES. For those who don't know, that's a firearms educational specialist. So at the time, the management that was there, it was still Pete. Ray wasn't there yet. It was a couple older guys. They gone. But the only one still there is probably Pete. But they took us to a lot of different training, bro. We trained with everybody. We trained with DPD, Warren, PPD, different police agencies, and different types of training because they wanted us. The goal was for us to take this training and train the officers at the hospital.
Right.
So I soaked in a lot of training. I got a lot of certificates, a lot of, I was able to teach a lot of different things. Shotgun, AR, pistol, what else we got? Active shooter training, clearing house training, all this stuff they think we supposed to tell Treats Hospital.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we never teach them nothing. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna teach them none of that.
Wow.
But I kept the training and the certificates. It made me a better instructor.
Yeah.
And what I told myself was, I'm gonna take this training and train my people.
Right.
I'm gonna take all this training and teach as much of it as I can to basically whoever that want to learn it for a fee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For a fee. So that helped me. That helped TSA get off the map. And I got to the point I was doing I'm basically doing now, like 5 days a week.
Oh wow.
On classes. And back then I was filling them up, bro. Filling them up.
Wow. Yeah, I remember
5, 6 people.
I remember doing some of them tactical shootings when I was before I got to the hospital. I was somewhere else, and we do tactical shootings. Like I remember one of them is when you got the officer with the gun is in front, and you got the other officer behind him holding his belt.
Yeah.
And one of the shootings was they would have the silhouettes. 1, 2, 3. I think it was like 4 or 5 silhouettes, and it was for confidence building to where they do the whole fall back and I'll catch you, But this was let your body loose. Don't fight me on this. Yeah. Just trust that I'm gonna put you in where you're supposed to be at with this belt, and I'm gonna yell out a number. Yeah. And whatever number I yell, that's the number you shoot at. Okay. And they'll have you going from side to side. You'll be over here at 4. They'll say at 1, and you boom 1.
Using real firearms?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was doing real ones, and then they'll use 3. They say 3. Boom. Okay. 3. Okay. Then we did a couple of them. With the, like you said, with the clearing the houses. But the crazy part was we did one clearing the house with a gun. It wasn't the actual house. It was just outside set up. Yeah. And you would go through and a silhouette come out, boom, boom, come out the house. And the very last one, they used to have this metal silhouette. I don't know, probably about 30 yards down, maybe 40 yards down, with a handgun. And you had to shoot at this silhouette. And the only way you knew if you hit, because it was metal, it ding. You pow. Shit, I missed. And I remember the first time I did it, went through there, pow, ding. All right, man, you couldn't tell me shit. Like I told you, I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn when I first started shooting.
But that training made you a better shooter?
All of it, because I was constantly just because it came to a point where I almost didn't qualify, and they wasn't gonna let me continue, and I would be at the gun range constantly.
On your dollar or theirs?
On mine.
Okay, that's good. That's what I asked. Because some companies tell you, like we used to tell officers, you need sometimes you got to spend your own money.
Yeah, and then I would get the guys that was like the best shots in my class, to work with me. Okay. And one of my problems was when I was first shooting, I was anticipating a shot too damn much. Yeah. And they had these little dummy rounds, and I would be at the range shooting, and it was to help me see, what I was doing wrong. And then when that dummy round would come through, and then I would that's your problem. You know what I'm saying?
Even though it wasn't no recoil, you create your own recoil.
Yeah, because they would mix it in with the live round, and I just didn't know where it was at. Yeah. You
create your own recoil, basically.
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I ended up getting a look.
Like don't move nothing. That's why I tell my students, don't move nothing but your trigger finger.
Right.
And don't slap the trigger. Just slow press it.
And then this one guy, he taught me this little trick. It's kind of hard to do without the gun, but one of my, what is it? Because when I do it, I'm here and I'm here with it, and I think it's this finger. I use this finger right here, up underneath the barrel. Okay. So when it comes, I bring it back down. I level the barrel back off again. Okay. By using that finger.
That works for you.
Yeah, that works for me. Okay. Everybody else used to tell me little stupid shit like, pretend like it's some pussy and you want to hit it. Yeah. Well, that ain't the same. Yeah. That ain't the same. I'm not gonna shoot the pussy.
Yeah. So what, the trigger or the trigger?
The trigger, pretend like the gun. Yeah, I'm like, nah, man, that just ain't gonna work for me.
That's the old saying.
Yeah, I ain't gonna work for me. I can't. Man,
it worked for me.
I mean, it's dead.
When he told me that, it worked for me.
Oh, it worked for you? Man.
Yeah. Basically, all that meant was just be delicate, be soft
Yeah.
with it. And I tell people, basically, you and the trigger become one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You know,
like y'all become one.
Because then another guy, told me also, it's like driving a car. The car go where you want the car to go.
Yeah, yep,
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The round gonna go where you want the round to go. It's just an extension of yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to, and then he always say, punch it out there. He's like, just punch it out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get it out there as far as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and all I would hear him say all the time, front sight post, front sight post, front sight post. And when I started putting all the shit together, working with every damn body, doing all this shit, and before you know it was, I forgot what the score was, but it was like damn near 100%.
Yeah.
And since then, I haven't, looked back. You know what I'm saying? I take that with me every time I shoot.
Yeah, yeah.
And the crazy part is when I shoot, I don't know what it is. Even though I know I'm a good shot now, but every time I go to the range, I get butterflies in my stomach.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
Yeah.
I guess when you're getting tested.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I gotta. It's a test. You know what I'm saying? People don't like tests. Like, yeah, it's a test. It's a possibility if I fail.
Right.
You're gonna take this gun away. I don't want to fail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to be tested. Yeah. I remember we went to, what was it? I think it was patrol, rifle, and pistol training with, I think it was with Macomb County Sheriffs. It was next to the jail. Macomb County Sheriffs, yeah.
Oh, the school over there?
Well, it was the police.
Academy school is over there too. Yeah. They do the fire over there too. Yeah. I've been there before.
We was taking the rifle and pistol instructor class, and like literally, bro, like I really wasn't. No, man, I'm lying. It was it was all three. It was shotgun, pistol, and rifle. I wasn't that good. I really wasn't that good with a shotgun or a rifle.
Mm-hmm.
And 12 gauge. So I went, before training started, I went and bought a Remington 870. That's what most law enforcement agencies carry.
Yeah.
So I went and bought a Remington 870 and bought some snap caps. So snap caps are the fake rounds. Like you said, they put a snap cap in there. Pop, pop, pop. Snap caps don't fire though. Snap caps don't fire.
Right.
So I bought some fake 12 gauge snap caps, and I was just at home practicing loading and unloading. You know what I'm saying? Dry firing. Because I knew, because the thing was it the first week or first day? I think it was like a 3-week class, but they said the first day we're gonna do a drill, and if you don't pass, you going home. You know what I'm saying? 3-week class, but they tell you the first day, we gotta test the date. If you can't pass this test the date, basically you shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I already knew that going in. So I'm like, man, let me train with the AR shotgun now. Man, when I got that training, I was so nervous. Like you said, I was shaking, bro.
Yeah.
I literally was shaking because it was with me. Our crew was the only African Americans there, which was me, Peak, I want to say Sergeant Martin. Everybody else was white. You know what I'm saying? From other police agencies. So it was like, I know these, they all the AR swooped up, all the sights, all the bells, all the whistles. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, these cats talking about hunting, they talking about, they been shooting since they was 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here I am, brand new, off the block, but don't know nothing about guns for real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, man, I was shaking and palm sweaty, but I ended up, I passed. You know what I'm saying? I passed, and I was able to stay there 3 weeks. Everybody, I know what you, man. I was shaking, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, man, if I fail this test, I got to go back to the hospital, and I'm not FES. Like, they gonna make me. I ain't want to get, you know what I'm saying? I ain't want to feel that way, bro. It's gonna hurt my manhood.
Yeah, I think sometimes that right there, it ends up building character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it gives you more of an appreciation for what it is that you're doing. Even though all these guys here got all these souped up AR-15s with the lights and the beam and the different stocks on them and all that shit like that, and they bragging about how it look and what round comes out. Now I don't know the 3
didn't pay for it.
Yeah, I don't know the 3.32 round is at the time. Yeah, it shoots a 3.22 round.
I was like, they killing us.
Yeah, I'm like,
I just had at the station. They had like a Smith & Wesson M&P, little AR-15, You know, and then this when the AR pistol was getting popular. So a lot of cats had the short barrel AR pistols. I got this big, long, full size, old beat up Smith & Wesson MVP rifle. You know what I'm saying? Iron sights. Nothing look spectacular about it. It looked like it should be. You know what I'm saying? Like it was basic, bro.
Yeah.
Stock, straight out the box, but the box from 20 years ago. I was that boy like, let's go. You know
as long as it shoot. Yeah, that's all that matters.
Shot,
you know what I'm saying? All them, you know, I can, you know, all them bells and whistles a lot of times, man. That shit don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because with the bells and whistles, I'ma stop the target. Without the bells and whistles, I'ma stop the target. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna get no special points because I got every damn bell and whistle it is to have. All I need is the barrel, the trigger, and the sights and the ammunition.
I'm on that boy.
Yeah, that's all I need. Now I want the advantage. You know, I want the advantage, but if I can't have it, shit, you still gonna you still gonna feel it.
Most shooters are close. Most shooters are within 5 feet.
Yeah.
So you really not going to even have opportunity to use all the bells and whistles, you know, optics and all that shit that close, especially with a pistol.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, certain stuff may come in handy in different situations.
Yeah.
Like if you got a tactical flashlight on it, like for a house gun. So when you clearing or something, you ain't got to cut on no light switch. It's cool to have it for certain stuff, but yeah, on everyday carry, all that stuff, most of that stuff you ain't even use for real.
I never carried the flashlight on my handgun. I always had my regular flashlight because if I got because I always figured like this. A couple other guys told me too. If I got a flashlight on my handgun and I'm looking around and I'm looking around, guess what? I'm pointing this gun. I'm pointing this at somebody possibly that don't need to be pointed at. It's a good chance because I gotta point the flashlight where I want to see it. So I used to always just have my weapon, I had my flashlight, and I would carry it like that, you know. And you know, one of the you know, I've always enjoyed shooting. You know what I'm saying? I just hate qualifying sometimes. I just get nervous every time. I get nervous and I'm a good shot. I just get nervous. I just get nervous every time, you know.
And one thing was cool about becoming FES, like we honestly didn't even have to qualify no more. You know what I'm saying? We'll be testing each other, man. It was just like it was fun just to score everybody else. But I know in the day I ain't shooting. Right. I'm good.
I like doing the other training too though. The virtual training. Yeah. Because for me,
simulation.
Yeah, the simulation. Because for me, that gets your brain. Really going. Because it's easy for me to shoot a target, you know, and just be like, all right, shot the target, versus having some actual scenarios where either I done fucked up and this could have been my life, or I made the right decision and a split decision just like that. Because we just did that training.
Okay.
I think you was there. We did all that for like 2.5 months. They had the whole simulator thing hooked up at the hospital.
I was there. I didn't do training, but I was there.
Oh, okay. You didn't have to do the damn training.
No, I wouldn't even FS no more, but they stopped messing with me.
Yeah, you didn't have to do the training and shit. I'm like, I had to sit there and do the training. It was
cool though.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, especially when you miss and you get shot. It's like, wow, that could have been real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That could have been real life. I do plan on getting one of them simulations for my use at my new locations.
Oh, okay. Now you mentioned you train children as well.
Yeah.
Now are these just ordinary, like people they come to you and like, I want you to show my kids how to use a handgun? Are these juvenile delinquents?
So no. So glad you kind of took it that way. So no, the kids I train with firearms are usually parents that contact me and want their kids trained. I just a couple weeks ago trained a young lady that police officer, work at the 6th precinct. Somebody plugged her with me. She got her 11-year-old son, and she wanted him to go to the range and learn firearms because she has firearms in the house, but she didn't feel comfortable, necessarily doing it herself.
I'm your mama. You ain't gonna take me as serious.
Yeah. So she like, somebody told me about you. Can you train my son? So those children are typically the children of parents. Now I do have a youth gun safety class I do for troubled teenagers.
Okay.
These are teenagers that catch gun charges, CCWs, and a lot of them have done other felonies as well as getting caught with a gun.
Yeah.
So I've been doing this program now for about 2 years.
Okay.
And it was it was blessed to me by a judge that worked at the court.
36?
Yeah, I used to work at 36 as
Oh,
well.
okay.
I forgot. I was working 36, so a lot of judges over there got their CPL from me. So I guess we was friends on social media. I didn't even know, bro. She didn't like nothing, didn't comment on nothing. But she saw how I was moving, and she was like, a couple years ago, she was the second one actually. Actually, before that, I'm I'm really close with Ray Washington. So that's Wayne County Sheriff.
Okay.
Yeah, him and my dad was close at DPD.
Right.
So he asked me first and said, we're trying to put a youth program together for teenagers that catch gun charges. You interested? I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm interested. He's like, all right, I gave your information to Ken Worthy. He's like, so Ken Worthy should be giving you a call. I'm like, Ken Worthy.
Yeah.
Prosecutor Ken Worthy. I'm like, bet it up. So I'm trying to put a plan together, what I'm talking about and all this. Never got that call from Ken Worthy. You know what I'm saying? I talked to him again. I said, yeah, Ken may never hit me. She didn't hit you? All right, well, let me see what's up. He ain't hit me back on it. She never hit me. I was like, all right, cool. Like, oh, well, good idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Months later, bro, not even a year later, the judge. That was at Thursday District Court, she went over to Third Circuit Juvenile Court.
Okay.
That's the
that's
Juvenile
Lincoln Hall.
Court. So she like, I'm one of the head judges over here. We putting a youth class together. I want you to do it. I'm like, look at God.
Yeah.
I brought it right back to me. So I ended up putting a class together for troubled teenagers that catch gun charges. So it's not about teaching them about guns. It's basically about conflict resolution. You know what I'm saying? I got a program also called The Winning Mindset, where we just talk about goal setting, writing goals down, critical thinking, making better life decisions,
Mm-hmm.
So that's a program that's the court sending it to me, either the court, probation officer, judge, or these nonprofit organizations that in the city that get these troubled teenagers, and they try to put them in different things to help them.
Yeah.
So they got to come to my class in order to go back to court and get off probation.
Right.
So my name, a lot of these kids' paperwork, bro.
Oh, wow.
That was amazing to me when somebody, it's crazy, a student, a lady that took my class and got her CPL, contacted me and said, hey, your name is on my son's paperwork.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, wow. So I done taught you about guns, got you your CPL, full circle. Now your son got to come talk to me.
Right.
Because he done got caught with a fire.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I'm getting both y'all certificates.
Yeah, I used to work with juvenile delinquents at a juvenile facility in Highland Park.
Yeah.
I used to deal with them kids head on.
Yeah,
these are the kids that did what they said they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? These ain't the kids that sold you wolf tickets, and these are the kids that was carjacking you, that was robbing you at gunpoint. These were the kids that was breaking in your homes and things like that. And being able to get into their mindset is rewarding when you can actually get into it. Now, some of you ain't gonna reach, but it's gonna be a couple of them that you get, and the shit. It feels good to be able to reach that child, to teach that child new other ways, like you said, conflict resolution. Is another way to deal with this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's more than one way to skin this rabbit. You could do this a lot differently than this.
Exactly.
And because them kids, man, because a lot of times they think like, well, shit, fucking now I'm in over my head now. I ain't never gonna be able to be anything else.
Yeah.
But you can something you can get through them. And the good thing about the state of Michigan is that when it comes to juveniles, they do everything possible to try to get them on the right track. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of that also goes back to their support system.
Man, that's where it started. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's their support system once they get out of that situation and go back home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's great that you do stuff like that.
So I'm blessed that I get paid for it.
Right.
I get paid for it. But there are some parents. Either the parent pay for it, it's not the nonprofit, one or the other. So some of them, if they sent not through the nonprofit and the judge sent them straight to me, the parent got to pay. Sometimes they ain't got that money to pay for the class, So I'm planning on making it. I'm trying to get a nonprofit with that So hopefully I can get funding for it, for
Right.
this program. And I want to expand it more than just a one-day class. You know what I'm saying? Possibly become a curriculum or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think we need a youth gun safety curriculum course. Where it ain't just a one-day thing and they learning
Yeah.
a lot. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I seen too I do them in person and on Zoom. So first we was doing in person, and I see a lot of the times when a lot of young men had a few females come. They under 18, some between 13 and 17. They might be 18, but committed crime at 16,
Yeah.
17. A lot of times when they come in with their mother.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mother. I see one or two fathers, but rarely. It's always mom. And this got to the point where they ain't got parents, and they get up there, they don't call it Uber.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a story to tell.
Yeah.
My daddy in jail, my mama strung out. They be having stories, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids be coming from broken homes.
Yeah. Oh man,
Majority of them coming from broken homes.
I used to see it all the time. And the crazy part is, you see them on the news, and be like, man, just throw away the key, put him in jail, throw away the key. Because I had one juvenile that he had been in there. He committed a crime when he was like 12 years old. You may have seen it because it happened on Wayne State campus where he was 12 years old and shot and killed this white lady. And their big thing was either he was going to get out at, I forget, 21, or he was going to do what they call dual time. Do his juvenile time and then turn 21 and then do adult time.
Okay.
And the girl father would come to court every time, making sure that wanted him to make sure that he go to prison after the juvenile, after juvenile, and for the most part, it was model. He was a model. They call kids in the juvenile facility. It's different with juveniles and adults, and with adults, it's going to be jail or prison.
Yeah.
With juveniles, it's going to be treatment.
Yeah.
With adults, it's going to be sentence. With juveniles, it's going to be adjudicated.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And with adults, it's going to be inmates. With children, they're going to be residents. And he was like a model resident, and he ended up getting out at 21. I haven't heard anything else about him, but at 12 years old, he killed somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you hear these backstories, because part of their treatment is them having to tell their story. You can't go no further in treatment without telling us everything that's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
And when you hear some of them stories, you're like, damn, this is the reason why.
Yeah.
This is what really happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I've seen a lot of them really be kids, man, with good hearts.
Yeah, they do.
They just grew up in a messed up situation. Bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I try to do, is just tell them it's another way out. I tell them I'm from the block. I came up on the east side. I was in a gang. I break it down like, just imagine you being 45, 44, coming back, talking to yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Back to the Future.
Right.
Marty McFly going to talk back to himself. That's how I tell him, like, man, the older version, you coming back, talking to yourself, telling yourself, the life we grew up, the way I grew up was bullshit. Like, it's a better way. You know what I'm saying? And some, like you say, some of them get it, some of them don't. That's why I know it need more than one day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, I gotta stay on these kids. Like you said, it actually done something to me. This class changed my life.
Right.
Like, I be talking to the kids. I do PowerPoints. And these are the first time I ever did my own PowerPoint because I had to do something for the kids.
Yeah.
So I put the PowerPoint together, and the stuff I be telling them, it's like, nigga, you gotta live this way too. You know, so I can't be telling them, write your goals down, do the right thing, make the right decisions.
Yeah.
And then I'm out here in the streets making all the wrong decisions.
Right.
I don't want to be a hypocrite.
Yeah.
In life in general. So a lot of stuff I tell them, it made me look at myself in the mirror.
And a lot of times, them kids know when you bullshitting them. They know when you genuine with it, because when I was working with them, shit, it wasn't no big secret. I wasn't from the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I growing up, I mean, I ain't lived no middle class life, but I wasn't out there in the streets, doing something, a lot of stuff that they was doing. But I would, for the most part, treat them with the utmost respect, guide them in the right directions, even when they ain't want to be guided in the right direction at that time. Because believe it or not, all children want guidance.
They do.
Even if they fighting you with the guidance, once they get so far ahead, further in life, then like, man, he was really trying to help me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I wish I always had somebody to be on me instead of just saying, well, forget it. All right, go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think all children want guidance.
Yeah.
They're children. They don't know how to take the guidance that they're getting. They're looking at it as a punishment sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But all children want somebody to look up to.
Yeah, they do.
All children want somebody who got answers for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a great thing that you're doing, with these children, letting them know that these guns are not for play. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because like you said, you got the guns by listening to rap music and shit.
Firstly introduced.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Imagine the rap music they listening to now.
Man,
this ain't no E40 talking about no guns.
This ain't even Spice One talking
yeah,
about
this ain't none of
that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They putting on what they call them boo shiesties, and
then a lot of them actually out here doing it.
Yeah,
getting locked up, doing life, and facing state charges off of it.
Yeah, then a lot of times they also got to look at it that too. Some of these adults in your life do not have your best interest because they're playing you, because they're getting you to do this work so they know all you're gonna do is go to juvenile.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna come back home at some point versus them doing it and gonna get life, but they're gonna fuck your life up for the rest of your life. Because even though you a juvenile and can't nobody necessarily see your record because they sealed, depending on what you're trying to do with your life down the road, it can pop back up on you.
I tell them, if they want to go any law enforcement, it's gonna pop up.
Yeah.
Certain stuff it ain't getting off your records there.
Right.
Yeah, I tell them that, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, but that's wonderful, man. And to get back, man, I could talk about juveniles all day long, man. I used to love working with the juveniles. And the crazy, sometimes you'll see them on the street, and I don't recognize them no more because when I dealt with them, they ain't had no facial hair, they ain't had no tattoos. Now here they are looking like you and I. And like, hey, Dylan, what's going on, Dylan? I'm like, who the hell is?
But that's cool though.
Yeah,
that's cool that you put out that positive energy. You done bless them with that positive energy. So when they see you, they give it back to you.
Right.
That's
because they know when people fucking over them.
Yeah.
They know when people fucking over when people is genuine. Because sometimes even with juvenile, when I was in there, I don't want to get on the soapbox. This will be the last one, but they would start shit with each other depending on who was there.
Yeah.
If they knew there was somebody that was there that was going to protect them, they would start shit because I know I ain't going to fight this person, but I know I can talk my shit because he's not going to let anything happen to me. But if I know I got somebody that's watching over us that's scared of the kids just as much as I'm scared, I'm going to sit back and be quiet and not say a goddamn thing because he's going to get his ass whooped and I'm going to get my ass whooped.
Wow. And I'm sure there was some guys there, some officers or whatever that was the case.
Yeah, that was,
Who was scared or get their ass whooped.
Yeah, it was quite a bit, And so you say you got your you end up getting your suite. You start training out the suite, and then what did that do for your relationship once you got the suite?
So once I got the suite and I furthered the training, became FES, I felt way more confident in my training and what I was educating people in. And I used to take people to the range. I say 5 days a week, groups of people, bro, just groups. I'm young. I think I was early 30, like 30. Something like that, and I had all the energy in the world. I still got energy, but I had all the energy back then.
Yeah,
I'm doing, I'm basically almost 8-hour classes, and then I'm going straight to work, 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? Working 16 hours a day, 5 days a week. So I got to training people. I used to see some of my students taking a new batch of students, going to a gun store, to a gun range. So right around the corner from me. They got a gun store and a gun range. They sell firearms and they got a range. So I'm taking people. All I'm doing is helping people get their CPL, firearm training. So I'm taking people around there. I'm bumping into former students. Hey, Mr. Hudson, hey, Instructor Hudson, how you doing? We over here purchasing firearms. We thanks for telling us where the gun's at. Appreciate it. We'll come to you for some training again in the near future. Blah blah blah. So I'm constantly seeing this, man, and I'm like, wait a minute, man. They're over here getting money, you know what I'm saying, from people I brought here. They wouldn't even know these people if I didn't bring them here, you know what I'm saying, which is cool. But it's like, I need to get to the next level. It's another level to what I'm doing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's another level. So that was like the second time, but more serious time when I started dabbing into being a federal firearms dealer. I was like, let me really look into that. You know what I'm saying? So I started looking into it, got the paperwork, and then basically at the end of the day, I ended up 2021. I ended up saying, applying. Like let me do this for real. I ended up stacking some money. I had a little money on me,
Mm-hmm.
a little couple racks. Probably about, I don't know, probably about 15, 20 G's.
Oh
I
wow.
had saved up. So just off that money, I was like, let me look into being an instructor. I mean, being a federal firearms dealer. The process wasn't as bad for me as I thought. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a smooth little process. And that's when I became a federal firearms dealer in 2021.
So when you're a federal firearms dealer, what does that consist of versus just being someone who can just sell a gun at the range or the store or whatever?
Well, federal firearms dealer mean that I got the right to sell firearms in the United States, and I do a federal background check on people. You know what I'm saying? So I go through FBI NICS, NICS background check, and that allows me to sell to anyone in Michigan. I only sell 21 and up.
Okay.
So I ship firearms out of state to individuals that purchase on my website, and like I said, I sell firearms in state.
Okay.
As far as selling out of state, I got to ship it to another FFL dealer. I can't ship it to nobody's house, nothing.
Yeah.
But I'll sit into, a lot of times it'd be little small towns sometimes, and they have like a pawn shop that'd be FFL, or it could be a big city and they got gun stores.
Yeah.
I ship it there, ammunition, so firearms, basically firearms, ammunition.
So how much more is it to get it shipped somewhere, or does it? If your website say the gun is $550, is it $550, or does it cost extra to get this gun shipped?
Man, so for me right now it's definitely extra because they go by the weight. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
When I'm shipping. So I might use FedEx. So I'm not at the level, or at least I don't have the knowledge at this point where, because you can go some online sites and they have free shipping.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you can do that yet.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's still another level of knowledge I need to learn, or something. When I try to get to it, like I ain't get too deep in it, but yeah, I got to figure that out. So, but yeah, right now it might be depending on $20, $30.
Oh, okay.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
that ain't too bad.
yeah, but then, but that might be included possibly in the person's shipping fee.
Yeah.
And then when they get there, typically you got to pay for a transfer.
Oh, okay.
So they paying whoever they picking up the firearm from to do a background check and transfer to them. Everybody charge different. That could be another $40, $50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that, but yeah, federal firearms deal allow me to sell firearms, ammunition, and also throw in there like bulletproof vests, accessories, holsters, all that stuff. So when I started doing that, I was blessed, man, and I was able to capitalize off of it.
Right.
And you'd be surprised. Last I heard, I haven't looked up the number this year, last year, it's less than 70 African American federal firearm dealers in the United States.
Wow.
Not a lot of African Americans that sell firearms.
Now, how many do you know of any in the state of Michigan?
I think, is it two? I know three. I know three. I know three of four, maybe 3 or 4. Yeah. And all they kind of scattered. Now,
even with that, have you ever thought about, or has anyone ever thought about, like having, how like they have a black caucus, like having some type of, like the black dealers, the black gun dealers come together and have a meeting of the minds and come up with different ways on how to help each other profit a little bit more. Anybody ever thought about something like that?
It maybe some already exist. I'm not part of none.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying that, I mean, they have different organizations. Like they got the NAGA. I don't know if you heard of NAGA.
No.
National African American Gun Association.
Okay.
They're out of Georgia. They got gun clubs, stuff like that. And maybe it mostly be like full of a bunch of firearm instructors. You know what I'm saying? Because I said that was only less than 70 FFL, African American.
Yeah.
70. So it's not a lot, but you have a lot of instructors. They may know black dealers. So, you know what I'm saying? but we flooded with instructors. But yeah, the thing is, bro, what you probably understand, it'd be competition, man, and the competition ain't a lot of hate. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a lot of hate. Like when I first got into the FFL industry, I reached out to a lot of these brothers out of state. Most of them out of state because I didn't know the in-state ones.
Mm-hmm.
And like everybody, it wasn't like, oh man, bet, all right, we're gonna link up. Ooh, 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 you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you all this, tell you all that. You know, yeah, it wasn't a lot then, but it was I forgot my man, but it was a brother here who once he found out I was FFL, he gave me the rundown. I had to pay for it, which I ain't tripping. Games to be sold, not told.
Right.
So I had to pay him a certain amount for him to like introduce me into that world.
Yeah.
So, okay, I had to become an FFL on my own. But then when I did, he like, this is the stuff you're gonna need to know. This is your packet.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I wouldn't have nobody.
Right.
So he like, this is everything. This is where you get the firearms. This is all this. You know all this. So I had to pay him a certain amount for that. And I appreciate him for that. But I asked him at the time, and I was like, this all you do? Because actually he ain't too far from me. I was like, this all you do? He's like, he chuckled like, no, I got a job. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, so you got a job still. So it's back to that. It's like this. It's like I got to the point where I was like, I felt in my mind I was at the peak with being a firearm instructor. At the top.
Mm-hmm.
When I became an FFL, I went all the way back to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt. Like, all right, I'm at the top. Firearm instructor. I'm CPF class. I'm probably one of the, I'm doing a lot in Michigan, bro. I'm up there. So when I started FFL, I said, I'm back down here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, climb your way back to the top
again. I'm like, I still got a job, which is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, these gun stores, these other they ain't got a job. This is their job. This is their life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I asked him, he's like, nah, bro, I still got a job. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you must be making enough money where this is feasible for you to move on, job. So yeah, I had to start all the way at the bottom. And it was a blessing for me to start doing online sales and selling fireworks. I've been doing that since 2021. So I've been at the suites I was telling you about. I've been in the same building with different suites, like a smaller suite, bigger suite. You know what I'm saying? Bigger suites. As I grow, the suite's been growing. But I'm like, now I'm too big for the suites I'm in. You know what I'm saying?
So what are you doing now?
So as of now, I done leased a building on 12 Mile in Greenfield, right around the corner from where my suites are. I leased a building, and I'll be opening a brick and mortar gun store.
Oh, okay.
Brick and mortar gun store. So this would be as of now, as far as I know, the only African American brick and mortar gun store in Michigan.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
So once you up and going, you're gonna be the only that you know of. You're gonna be the only black-owned brick and mortar gun store.
Yeah. Like I said, some FFLs, and even right now, I'm considered a gun store.
Yeah.
But they're suites. Right. You can't go down the street. Oh, let's go to a gun store and walk in my building.
So you're gonna be having guns on the walls behind the glass.
I'm flooding, bro. I'm flooding with firearms. Yeah. So that's what we're working on now, and that allowed me to quit my job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the first time. No, I always quit my jobs versus getting fired, but I've been there 12 years. I'm a grown man with kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And a wife. So it's like you gotta really think about this before you make this decision.
Now how did that fly over with your wife? Baby, I'm about to quit and do this full time.
Too, so for the, I don't just for, tax reasons, I don't want to be talking too much. Yeah. But for the past maybe 5 years for sure, my business has been my number one source of income. Yeah. So wifey know that. So she all for it. Okay. Like, all right. You spend this many hours at your business, and then you go to a job for 8 hours. What if you spend at least cut half of the hours you spend at the hospital into your business? Take 4 of them in your business. Don't you think you make more money? Or you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm a firm believer in too. And this is how my life set up. In order to open one door, you got to close one. Right. You got to close one door for another. That's how my life been set up. So I see that. So like when I quit FES, Firearm Educational Specialist, even before it, because I just got tired. I'll grow it. I kind of outgrew it in my mind. I got too busy with my business. So when I quit that, that's when I got the youth gun safety class. It was like simultaneously. I quit that, got blessed with the kids class. Not in his income.
Yeah.
Even though I do it for free, his income coming in.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So that let me know, okay, bro, you got to make another decision. So that's why I decided, all right, you got to quit your job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to quit your job, your benefits. You got all that. You got to quit that in order to put your whole everything into this brick and mortar you trying to do.
So for you, was it a no brainer?
Nah, bro, I'm very strategic with my thinking, but at the same time, that could almost be looked at as what's the word? Just hesitant. Just not.
Yeah.
Not
undecisive.
Undecisive. You bullshitting. You ain't. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna never do this, bro. You know what I'm saying? One of them. Because a lot of people never really move on a dream. A lot of people never take that next step.
Right.
So it can be looked at like you're not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? But I know we only got a certain amount of window for opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, I'm only gonna be a certain age where I'm even feel like doing this.
Right.
It's gonna get to a certain point. I'm like, man, I'm straight, bro. I'm just gonna go in here and retire. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I'm at the point where I still like I got energy, and I was blessed to put some funds up, and it's not like I'm quitting a job and I'm looking for another income.
Right.
I already got income coming in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just took me a while to take that leap.
Oh,
probably like I should have did this maybe 2-3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So that's that long.
Oh, okay.
I should have did this 2-3 years ago, but I've been hesitant.
But shit, I'm happy you took that leap now.
Yeah,
because I'm out there.
I picked the right time.
Yeah, you picked the right time.
yeah. That's cool.
But with the brick and mortar now, and now I see you got these two weapons out here. So for those that don't know what these are, what are these two weapons? And if you want to pick them up and show them,
I mean, both of these AR pistols.
Okay.
We both got the AR pistols. Got the St. Vic made by Springfield Armory. XD 7.5 inch barrel. Got the EOTech.
What's the EOTech?
This is the optic.
Okay.
Basically.
So those that don't know what the optic is.
Well, yeah, you this is what you got a red dot. So basically, this is what you use to aim. Hit the target versus it having like the iron front and rear sights. And man, these EOTechs these around $600.
Damn.
Just for these, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But I ain't gonna lie. Honestly, to me, they're overrated. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it should be worth all that.
Everybody gotta make their money.
Yeah, they make that shit. But don't get me wrong, you don't want nothing cheap.
Yeah.
But I'm not
I'm
not the best fan of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the best fan of those. This is 5.56 223.
Okay.
Then over there, this one this is what my first one I actually helped build. Because I'm trying to get into building as well. So this is the first one that we actually built. I got a guy that hopefully will be working with me. This guy named Stanley, and it's a white guy. He actually got a transfer, a fire sent to me. Man, older gentleman. We ended up building a good relationship. Okay. You know what I'm saying? He retired. He like, man, I build guns. I do all that. I'm like, man, I'm always looking for knowledge, bro. Right. Whether it's in my field or out my field. So I'm like, we need to link up. So he ended up helping me build this. We got the the Aero Precision Lower, Magpul, handguard.
So the handguard is to keep your hand from burning.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. And we put the sights on it. Okay. And it's also 5.56 223. And I like this one better though, because it goes out here.
So what's the difference between this stock and that stock? So with this stock right here,
that one is in place. Like it don't come out. And also,
this one don't come. This is in place.
Adjustable. It's not adjustable. But on here, you can actually put. You can one arm you can open that up here, snap and put the one arm in and shoot. Oh, okay. It'll be secured around your arm. That ain't nothing I'm gonna do. Though. Yeah. That ain't nothing I'm gonna do.
Right. I guess that would be like if you was trying to clear some shit out.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because at the end of the day, they don't really have a lot of recoil. Yeah, no, they don't. They don't. They just loud. Yeah. And them St. Vics, man, them run for about 11, 12 now right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're expensive, man.
Wow.
You probably put this one together less than maybe $500-600.
Oh,
yeah. So my plan is to really learn and get into putting them together. Okay. If I make some money off them, that's cool. But I just want to do it for myself. That part for now. Right. Yeah, just to gain that knowledge. So much knowledge in firearms. And it's like an endless thing. You know what I'm saying? You can be learning about this, that, the other thing. So I'm a student.
Yeah.
I'm a student. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, a firearm.
You know what I would love though? You know, when you say you do with the juveniles, you know, I would love for you to come back with one of the juveniles
Yeah.
and let one of the juveniles, you know, tell his or her story and you know, and so forth and things like that. I would love for you to bring, you know,
definitely
come down with a juvenile and we can, you know, and do this all over again, man. And
because one of them, or some of them, they didn't hit me up after the fact.
Yeah.
And you know, I tell them all, I'm an open door. Hit me up, call me, text me. I don't care what time of day, night it is. You somewhere stranded, you need, you know, you need advice. Hit me up,
right?
Because I don't want them to do nothing stupid.
Yeah, I know a lady that I used to work with the juvenile place. She's great with juvenile. She work out in Washington County now, but she's great. She's a therapist, and she just, I mean, even some of the shit. Because the crazy part would be because they have therapy, and shit. I used to use the therapist my damn self. It was free with them. And if I did it myself, I was gonna have to pay an arm and leg for a therapist. So I took all that therapy in as well. I mean, just because I wasn't no kid, it don't mean that shit didn't apply to me too.
Exactly.
And them kids, you'd always say, you take your job too damn serious. Like, Mom, I need help too. This shit, you getting therapy for free? I want therapy for free too. You know, but I would definitely love you to come back with a juvenile and well, they probably ain't juveniles now, but love to, you know, to bring as many as you want back and let them tell their stories.
Yeah, because we definitely plan on expanding. Like I said, I want to get the nonprofit so I can be like a big brother.
Yeah,
and spend more time with them. But and do more things with them, as you know, things cost.
Yeah, it does.
There's a cost of things. So even if I wanted to rent a bus or get something and take them to somewhere and do something, somebody got to get paid for that.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why I hope I'm trying to get funded for that.
Oh,
but definitely coming over here won't be that no problem.
No, yeah.
Yeah, but as far as expanding the program.
You know. And I mean, I just want to you know, thank you for you know coming on, man. I really appreciate it. I think a lot of people, you know, have gotten a lot out of this. That's gonna watch this, man, and realizing, you know, I don't think a lot of people realize the leg work that you got to put into your dream. You know what I'm saying? Your dream ain't like it is when you go to sleep at night and I here go your dream, then you wake up. You know what I'm saying? Your dream got to stay alive. You got to keep that dream alive each day. And sometimes you just don't know how it's gonna how you're gonna do it sometimes. And like I said earlier, you know, blessings come in many different disguises. And you've had a shitload of different blessings that came in a shitload of different disguises that at the time didn't seem like it was a blessing at the time. But then when you look back at it, like, damn, that was a hell of a blessing. Damn, you done made a contact here, you done made a contact there, you done moved up from here, you done moved up from there. Seemed like you fell down, but you really went up higher. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people just gonna take all this and soak it in. And I don't know, maybe you might end up doing what Tiger Woods did for golf.
You
know what I'm saying?
I still got a lane, still lanes that need to be filled. Well, but what is crazy because I didn't really, like, you know, keep it short, but I didn't really realize what I wanted to quote unquote do in my life until, well, I'm put like this, I didn't know my skill until about 3-4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Man. A lot of people never learn to get a passion or something they feel they're here to meant to do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of grown people don't feel like, oh, I'm meant to do this. So I got to the point where I know my life is supposed to be associated with firearms. You know, and not necessarily always just training, just God using me as a vessel with this to do so many different things, man. If, like I say, one, feed my family, but reach the youth. And even when I'm teaching brothers and sisters about guns, that's fulfilling to me. Because they didn't know nothing about this. Now I'm teaching them how to hold it, how to shoot it, safety. That's part of what.
And then when you look at it, and when you think about it, if you really think about it, your training and your legacy or whatnot continues to go forward because what you taught somebody, that person's going to teach somebody too. And what you taught them, they're teaching somebody else. So your teaching is constantly being taught. Even when you're not teaching it, you're still teaching it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then even for people that don't, you know, that realize they dream later on in life, some of the greatest people have accomplish their dreams later on in life. You look at the Colonel,
bro.
KFC, Colonel Sanders. He was old as hell when he first when he finally started, you know, making that type of money with his recipe. You look at even Henry Ford. He was 40-some years old before he got up there. You know what I'm saying? And look what their legacies are today. So it don't matter how old you are when you get it. It just matters that you got it. You know what I'm saying? Don't look like, well, shit, I ain't 20 no more. I'm always just go to work every damn day and wait for this 401k, this 403b, this pension or this social security. Nah, shit. You got a dream, man. Keep going for that dream. Don't matter how old you are. You ain't dead yet.
And sometimes you got to be older to really appreciate it. And take it in. Because if you're too young and you get and God blesses you with this opportunity, you might fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? You older, you done been through stuff. You like, all right, I'm ready now.
Shit, you get your brick and mortar at 25. So you got all your homies in there.
I'm not gonna. That wouldn't even be in my. Yeah, exactly. I'm in there drinking, you know, smoking. Oh man. So you know, sometimes you know, until you die, bro, you work on your dream.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but like I said, man, I appreciate you showing up, man. Thank you for coming in, man. I don't know if you want to do another, let everybody know what your websites is or your social medias or things like that.
Off rip. So right now, Taurus Tactical, like I said, we in Southfield, 12 Mile in Greenfield, 29501 Greenfield. And the website is www.taurustacticalelite.com. I could be reached on Facebook, Shamari Hudson. Taurus Tactical is the business page. And then Instagram S_DOT_elite, LITE. And like I said, when we get to brick and mortar, the name will be, I got a DBA doing business as Red Zone Firearms. So the new store, the new promotion in a couple months, I had to come back when that opened up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Talking about Red Zone Firearms. That's the next chapter of my life. So.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, man. I appreciate you.
Phone number 313, if I didn't mention it, 313-458-2260. Call me if you got any questions about firearms, about training, legal stuff. Give me a call.
Man, I appreciate that, man. This is a good guy, man. Go get this. If you get the CPL, don't call the CCW. CCW is a charge. Get the CPL, get the training. Let Hudson do what he do and what he do best. He gonna get your CPL. He gonna educate you. Let him do what he do, and he gonna get you together. So, like I said, thanks everybody for tuning in to another episode of Off the Clock with Mo. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, put down the comments. You got any other questions for him? Put the comments down, and I'll definitely deliver it to him. And once again, thanks everybody for tuning in.